Introduction to Canon Virtual Production System. Canon Virtual Production System, CVPS for short, is built around one big idea. Camera and lens metadata transmitted through the RF mount can be output in real time to external systems over Ethernet. This central feature streamlines what used to be a messy virtual production setup, one that often required multiple peripherals and considerable manual tuning, by enabling a calibration-free lens workflow. The result is a major reduction in setup time and on-set effort. Because the system allows for freely swapping lenses during a shooting session and supports autofocus operation, camera work feels much closer to conventional production. And since the same precise lens data captured on-set can be carried into post, CVPS helps create a more efficient end-to-end workflow. CVPS supports both LED wall workflows and green screen workflows. In LED-based virtual production, the background image is visible at the time of capture, which makes spatial alignment between camera movement and background CG absolutely critical. CVPS excels here because it can handle RF mount lens data in real time and feed it directly into external systems. That includes continuous distortion data linked to the zoom position, plus accurate lens and camera parameters such as focus and field of view changes. Combined with camera position data from an external camera tracker, this enables high-precision, real-time rendering of a natural, high-precision composite image. In green screen workflows, the background is composited either in real time or later in post, so the physical constraints can be more relaxed than when using an LED wall. Even so, CVPS still brings meaningful benefits, especially when aperture value, focus distance, and other values can be reflected in the CG pipeline. When you change the aperture, you can have the CG background reflect the changes in depth of field. And you can shoot wide open and produce a background defocus that creates a sense of depth with cinematic separation. Traditionally, virtual production often relied on attaching external lens encoders to capture zoom and focus data. That adds gear, cabling, power requirements, mounting considerations, and more points of failure and variability. With CVPS, lens information is output directly from the camera as CV metadata, eliminating the need for external lens encoders. Fewer components mean simpler, faster setups, cleaner rigs, and less operational overhead. One of the biggest time sinks in virtual production has been pre-calibrating lenses and generating lens profiles. Even primes can be labor-intensive, but zooms are especially painful because field of view changes with zoom position and focus distance. Calibrating a single zoom can easily take half a day to a full day. On top of that, manual calibration can be inconsistent in accuracy. CVPS links camera and lens information in real time as CV metadata, removing the need for that pre-calibration process and dramatically cutting prep time before shooting. In many virtual production setup, swapping lenses mid-shoot can trigger CG side reconfiguration and realignment, creating a real operational hurdle. With CVPS, supported lens data is passed to the CG system via CV metadata, so you don't need to manually update camera settings in the virtual scene every time you change lenses. That means you can swap lenses when the creative calls for it. Quickly choose your framing, expand your visual options, and stay focused on storytelling instead of troubleshooting. With RF lenses that support autofocus, you can use AF in virtual production, including subject tracking. This reduces the burden of holding focus in shots where the subject moves toward and away from camera, in dynamic gimbal shots, and in long-form interviews or presentation recordings. The result is smoother shooting with fewer interruptions, while expanding your creative choices including movement-heavy shots and shallow depth-of-field looks. CVPS isn't just an on-set advantage. Its strength in post is the ability to accurately recreate the original shooting conditions. CV Metadata Extraction Tool extracts frame-by-frame shooting data, including zoom, focus, and distortion, from recorded video and exports it as JSON data. CV Metadata plugin for After Effects reads that metadata and applies lens correction on a per-frame basis. You can read metadata directly from the original video or export it as JSON data to preserve the metadata before transcoding or format conversion strips it out. This allows you to remove and reapply distortion and vignetting frame by frame, reducing misalignment and compositing errors. The outcome is more reliable continuity in post and lower revision costs. The biggest value CVPS delivers is simple. It carries the capture data needed for live compositing and for post-production. It reduces on-set hassles while increasing creative flexibility. Use it to keep your workflow fast and your team focused on the work that matters, getting the shot.